Hello, this is Rick. This is a process of eggs, and this is about fixing the phones. And have we found a fix? Well, you can make that determination once you've listened to this and hear this out. We do a spreadsheet once a month, showcasing all of our rooftops and looking at their failed call numbers and looking at their potential losses by not picking up that phone and talking to that caller. Using some industry numbers, realizing a certain portion of those failed calls, those callers will never call back again. We can drill down and predict how much revenue was lost in service and how much gross profit. And over in this screenshot, you see some numbers. These are year-to-date numbers. These are some pretty extensive numbers here. They're big numbers. So again, that's revenue that these stores have lost. Then we dig a little bit deeper and we actually listen to the calls. And we're starting to pick up a trend. On some of the calls we're listening to, the caller has left a voicemail message, but at the end of the message, the computer system picks back up. And when it does, that triggers a failed call in the Marchex system. Now, we have reported this to Marchex. We'll do it again later this morning and follow up with the first request or first request to look into this. You'll see here, this is another call. You can listen to this because I sent you the spreadsheet. It did take 9 rings, but a conversation did take place. And then the caller was transferred over to another department to leave a message. But again, the system, I believe, triggered the voicemail abandonment. Now, the rooftop should be listening to these calls every day. And they can dispute these. They can actually dispute these, and they've been trained on that. So no one's listening to the calls, or they didn't listen to these. And yet, we also found a glitch in the system. And again, this is another one. This is another one. These are all successful calls. Then here's the other big thing that I'm noticing, and these are with my stores, or the stores that I'm not assigned to look into. These are my non-focused stores or are non-focused stores, but looking into their situation, some of the numbers dial into a system that is no longer in service. So in this case, this says this number is no longer in service for this particular dealership, and I believe this kind of makes up the bulk of this dealership's failed calls. Here's another one here. There's no voicemail option when they call in. This call was never picked up. It was never ringed to another extension. You'll see down here at the bottom that this caller called in twice during that day. So that one caller produced 2 failed calls. But at the dealership for this particular number that they called into, nobody picked up. It didn't go to a voicemail. It did not go to an option, any type of option. Again, no answer, no voicemail. And this is a line that works because if you notice on the bottom, after 2 attempts on the 19th, they tried to get on the 20th, and they were able to talk to somebody. Here's another one, no answers whatsoever, no pickup, no answers. So what I'm just trying to say here is that in these cases, in some of these rooftops, if we just have someone pick up the phone, or let's just go to a voicemail after 3 or 4 rings, that would take care of a big chunk of the failed calls. And if a dealership has a computer system, is the computer system picking up after the voicemail, after a voicemail's been left by a caller? Now, I know this seems like obvious stuff, and we do reach out to rooftops, and we do leave messages, and we do send them a podcast, we send them a PowerPoint, and we ask if we can come into the stores. And some stores we go into, the stores that we're currently working with, back and forth, their failed call numbers are dropping. Some of the stores we're working with, they know what needs to be done. They haven't pulled the trigger on it as of yet, and there's only so much we can do. We can share the information with them. We go over it every single week. But if they don't pull the trigger themselves or resolve it themselves, nothing's going to get fixed, unless we ourselves do the heavy lifting. But again, these are fixes that can take place and they can make a difference right now. They can make a difference immediately with our failed call numbers. If you want to chit chat about this, please reach out to me at any time. I wanted to bring you up to date. We are, listening to the phone calls. We are reaching out to the dealerships, and some of them are working with us proactively. Some will take the information, say they'll run with it themselves. And in some, I know they're busy. In some cases, they're not quite as responsive as I would like to see them responsive. But again, we're doing all that we can. Again, if you have any questions, do give me a call. By the way, something that may help is every one of these stores, every one of these rooftops, they can sign up for the loss opportunity alert. And what that does is for every one of these failed calls, the management team will get a text message and we'll give them the number. And I know in one or two cases, I've got managers who've gotten vocal about the number of missed calls that have gone to their phone, and they've been alerted to it. And that's kind of caused them to move forward on trying to fix this. So this one simple little service that they can enroll in, it's free, might irritate them enough, to want to make a change. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Thank you for listening. And as I always say, success is a choice, and go out and make it a great day.